It's time for the Doug Garrison Show. Are you familiar with the Iron Ore Heritage Trail? Well, Carol Fulcher is here to tell us about it. How about Northern Football? Know what's going on there? Chris Ostrowski is the new coach, and he joins us with an update. Do you know about Behind the Dandelions? It's a one-woman play, and we get a preview. How about Carrie Biolo? Know her? Well, that's me, and I do the music for Behind the Dandelions, and I have some for you. So stick around. The Doug Garrison Show starts now.
Tell the host 2 minutes. Stand by live to tape. Lighting to show level, please. Confirm front of house sound, PFL. Roll tape on masters, channel to places. All right, let's clear the set. Cue John music, open stage mics. Standby effects, standby CG. Standby to open on 3, 2. All right, folks, let's have a good show. Stand by, roll it in.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. We've got a good crowd here at Up Front and Company. I'd like to thank all of you for joining us, and thank you for joining us at home on Charter Channel 12 and on Fox UP. All right, we've got a good show for you tonight, but before we get started, I wanted to update you on something from last week's show. If you recall, we had Larry Kuhn on from the Marquette Post Office. Last Saturday was their food drive called Stamp Out Hunger, and Larry was on to help promote that event. Well, it was a very successful event. Thank you to all of you who participated. They collected more than 14,700 pounds of food to be distributed locally. That's close to 1,000 pounds more than their previous year. And of course, that food is given to St. Vincent de Paul, and the Salvation Army fills their food shelves, and they distribute it to people in need throughout our area. Food was also donated to the Harbor House, Jansen House, and Voices for Youth, and we also had Michael Martin here from Voices for Youth. So a lot of area people benefit from that Stamp Out Hunger food drive. We appreciate so much you to participate, and our Postal Service employees for helping make that drive a success. Before we get started, I did want to mention, if you want to keep up with things on the Doug Garrison Show, please visit us on Facebook and like us there. And then you'll be able to follow along with photos and events related to the show. We'd appreciate that. So like us on Facebook. We're going to get started tonight. We've got a good show. It falls into the category of interesting, informative, entertaining, and important. We're going to learn about some things that you can do in the area, both events and activities, and we're going to hear some neat music associated with one of those events. So stick around. We'll be right back.
Things that are seldom said.
You know, son, I really like your tattoos.
Oh no, honey, it's my turn to take the trash out.
And finally,
0% for 60 months on Toyotas.
That's right, 0% for 60 months on Tundra, RAV4, Sienna, and Venza.
And low lease payments like these. Toyota Corolla, just $159 a month. And RAV4, just $239 a month.
0% for 60 months on a great selection of Toyotas at the new Riverside.
The Doug Garrison Show is brought to you in part by Bell Hospital and Bell Rehab Services. Safely take the road to physical recovery with Bell Rehab Services. And by Peninsula Bank, celebrating 125 years in Marquette County. That's Peninsula Bank. The West End Update is presented by Fox Negaunee. Find new cars, used cars in one of the area's most respected service departments at Fox Negaunee. All right, with us is Carol Fulcher. And Carol, you've never been on the show before. I'm surprised you're involved in so much stuff, or you have been, but now you tell me you're just involved with the Iron Ore Heritage Trail.
And Doug, we go back many years, and I can't believe you haven't invited me.
I'm sorry about that, but we won't say how many years either, but that's okay. But like I say, you have been involved in a lot of stuff, but now this is your thing. You know, I've heard of this. This has been around for quite a while now. But it's starting to come to a completion, fruition. Tell us update us with the status of the Iron Ore Heritage Trail.
Well, for those that don't know, what the Iron Ore Heritage Trail is going to be a 48-mile trail that goes from Cabogam Road in Chocolate Township to Republic. So it's 48 miles through the Marquette Iron Range, and it'll talk about the history of the Marquette Iron Range and what happened here, so you can be at the spot that it happened.
Yeah, that's the idea. It's kind of a learning trail where you're going to have stations along the way where people learn about the history of iron ore mining in this area?
It's pretty cool because, yes, we'll have these great signs and interpretive artwork and different things on the trail that people can learn about what happened at the spot that it happened. And we are all on the Heritage Trail Committee learning a lot about our own history. So I think people are going to be excited when they get out there and learn more about what happened here in the Marquette Iron Range.
Yeah, that's a neat way to learn too, because I think, you know, we know about the mines, we know of their presence and their importance to the area, but unless you go in and take a tour and unless you've actually worked there, it's not necessarily a big part of your day-to-day life, and you might not know the history of it. I think this is a cool way to learn and be right there where it happened. You know, you feet on the ground to the same dirt that they were digging in many years ago.
Well, I grew up in this area, and I didn't know some of this stuff existed. I mean, there's some pits back in Ishpeming that I never knew existed until 2 years ago, and I grew up here. So, and it's beautiful. It's actually in places that people haven't been in 50 years because it was gated off. So we're finally able to open it up and tell people, okay, this is a great history we have here, and it's of national significance.
Yeah. Well, and it's cool, like you said, it's beautiful. It's a neat way to get out into the beautiful areas of Marquette County.
Yes.
Now, is this a trail for walking, hiking, biking, all purposes?
Well, it is all purposes. The hard part about this trail is that different sections have different users. So when you come downtown Marquette, of course, you have the paved bike path. Okay. It's all non-motorized, right? When you get to Chocolate, it's non-motorized in the summer, but there's snowmobiling in the winter. From Ishpeming West, it's going to be a multi-use trail, meaning motorized and non-motorized all season long. So get to our website, and it really explains what you can and cannot do on different sections.
We have a map of the trail, and now the entire trail is not completed yet. You're in the process of completing the trail.
Yes.
Right now, what's finished on the map here?
We have 5 miles of paved trail between Ishpeming and Negaunee, and that was put up in 2008. And we have some interpretation there as well. And then, of course, in Marquette, we're going to use the Marquette bike path that skirts the water and goes into Chocolate. And part of that's paved and part of that is limestone. And now this year we have money to go from Negaunee to Marquette, and that's 12 miles of trail. It's our biggest section thus far. And finally it opens up an opportunity to get between some sections of places that you haven't been able to get before in a safe manner.
Yeah. Now, if I went out on a bike, and when it's completed, if I went on a bike, is there a lot of elevation situations?
Well, not really, because we're following
I can do
railroad.
downhill. I'm not a big uphill guy.
Well, most people would like to go from Ishpeming to Marquette,
right.
And then you could take Mark Tran and go back and put your bike on the rack. Right. But we're following rail. So rails always took like the least resistance, so mostly it's 3% grade, so most people can do this.
Nice. What about funding? How are you paying for this project?
Well, through the good sources of people in Marquette County, we were able to do a millage. So we got a very small millage in 9 communities. It's 0.2 mils. And with that, we get about $250,000 a year. And what we do is we leverage it for other grants. And this year we're bringing in about $2 million in other funding that will help us build this trail.
How can people get involved? Are you looking for volunteers to help finish this, getting people to donate money to help finish it?
We're all about partnerships. The more partnerships we feel, the better. Yeah. So we have Boy Scouts building benches. We have people who are graphic arts that know how to do the interpretive signs. Nice. We have artists. We want art on the trail. That's going to be a big part of it. We need cleanup crews. Anybody who wants to get involved, we can find a way to get them involved. That's for sure. Yeah.
What's your target date for having this thing completed?
We want to get Negaunee to Marquette completed this year, 2012, and then from Ishpeming to Republic, we want to be done by 2015.
Okay, that sounds good. I'll tell you what, it sounds like a great thing to get out there in the woods and learn about our iron ore heritage at the same time.
People are going to be able to get to spots that they never really had access to, so I think they're going to find a really informative and beautiful places to go to.
I look forward to it. Come on back when it's done. We'll have you on again for your ribbon cutting.
Thank you, Doug.
Okay, great. Carol Fulsher from the Iron Ore Heritage Trail. Thank you very much for joining us.
You're welcome.
Okay, stick around. We're going to talk about some wildcats, so don't go away.
You want a car that makes the most out of every dollar without sacrificing quality, safety, or performance. At Fox Nagani, we'll give you 2 ways to save with low car payments and fuel efficiency. Get the best compact car for the money, the 2012 Chevy Cruze as low as $159 per month, and save at the pump with 36 miles per gallon. Or the 2012 Chevy Malibu, a Consumer's Digest Best Buy 3 years in a row, $179 per month with 33 miles per gallon. And you'll get the best service after the sale.
Fox Nagani, Marquette County's hometown dealer, only the best.
Togo's, Marquette's original submarine sandwich.
Okay, save some of that applause for the 2012 NMU Wildcat football season because we have the new head coach with us, Chris Ostrowski. Chris, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome and congratulations on your appointment. You tell me you were just the offensive coordinator for 14 months, elevated to head coach. That's a pretty fast rise.
Absolutely.
That's as a football coach, though, it's your goal to be a head coach somewhere, right?
No question.
And you're here at Northern. That's great. Lucky for us, and good luck to you on that. I'm going to talk to you about football in a minute, but first let's talk. You got a fundraiser coming up, a golf outing. It's Friday, June 1st. It's at the NMU golf course. Mm-hmm. Tell us a little bit about what's going to happen out there.
Yeah, it should be a great day, a real celebration of our program, of our players. The committee just did an amazing job. A volunteer committee that just really laid it on the line. John Frick, who chaired the committee, did an amazing job. It'll be June 1st. It'll be a 10:30 registration. Shotgun will be at noon. I want to make sure I don't forget anything here.
That's right. Okay.
It'll be a 4-person team scramble. Should be tons of fun. I know there are going to be giveaways, giveaway basket prizes, those kind of things. There'll be lunch included. There'll be a reception back here and up front where there'll be an open bar. So it should be a really great opportunity to meet our players and meet our coaches, really interact and play golf and have a great day.
You know, I think it's important, too, for people to really kind of buy into the team. It's nice to get to know some of the personalities, yourself and the other coaches.
Absolutely.
And that's what you want to do, too. You want to get to know the people in the community.
No question.
Okay, if people want to find out about that, they can probably visit the Northern website, go to the athletics department page.
They can email at footballgolf@nmu.edu, or just go on the webpage and it's right there.
Find
as well.
it there. Okay.
Yeah,
All right. That Friday, June 1st at the NMU golf course should be a lot of fun. Okay, well, let's talk about, first of all, tell me a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and how you ended up here.
Yeah, a typical coach's story. I'm originally from northern New Jersey, grew up about a half hour outside of Manhattan. Was a quarterback in college, had great experiences, the whole thing. Was a very young 24-year-old head high school coach where we were able to win, where no one was able to win before, and was able to parlay that to a coordinator job at Washington Lee University in Lexington, Virginia. And from there, I became the coordinator at Widener University in Philadelphia, which is a very celebrated college football program, probably the third most successful in the history of Division III football. And then from there, I got a Division I opportunity with Rocky Hager at Northeastern University in Boston, where that was 3.5, 4 great years, where I was fortunate enough to be started as the running back coach, promoted to quarterbacks, and then promoted to pass game coordinator by the end, and then offensive coordinator. And then an unfortunate situation where the program was discontinued and canceled, so we were forced to have to move around a little bit. And Coach Hager said this was an amazing place that I needed to come take a look at. You know, obviously, a kid from the Northeast wasn't 100% sold on.
Where is that? Looks like Canada
exactly
on the map.
But when I got off the plane and I saw the dome and I saw the community, I saw Marquette, I thought this place could be a giant. And then lo and behold, 14 months later, I'm named the new head football coach. So couldn't be more excited, more honored to lead this program, and totally committed to putting a great product on the field.
Yeah, good. Well, we hope you success with that. and maybe you'll be here for a while and keep those bags in the closet for a while.
Absolutely.
You know, that's
Absolutely.
part of the coaching lifestyle.
For sure.
You know, I like to say I think college football coach, and I'm not kidding with this. I think it's the toughest coaching job there is, coaching college football, because you have 11 or 12 days out of the year where you're counting on 19 and 20-year-old guys who Keith Jackson says you don't know what a 19-year-old kid's going to do until he does it. You're counting on those guys for your career. And those guys are out there, and all they're thinking about is the party they're going to that night or the girl they're trying to attract.
For
So a tough job. More credit to all you guys that do it. Let's talk a little bit about the team. You know, you probably have your own styles and things like that. We'll wait and see what kind of team you put on the field, but I like to know the basics. What's the quarterback situation?
Our quarterback deal is we've got a junior college junior and a kid named Cody Suspaniak, and a redshirt freshman from Grand Blanc, Michigan, in Ryan Morley. Those two guys are still in that competitive stage, if you will. I'm confident that we'll name a quarterback very early on in camp. I feel great about both guys. Different skill sets, but both guys are really outstanding football players. Ryan was a very celebrated high school quarterback, the fifth most prolific passer in the history of Michigan high school football.
Nice.
Cody brings a tremendous athletic base to it. So I think both guys bring a different skill set. Excited about both of them. I think we can win with both of them, but we're going to hang our hat on one for sure.
Okay. Any other players we should kind of keep an eye on?
You know, I think Zach Anderson on defense is as good as any defensive end in the league. He is on the NFL clock, if you will.
Good.
Eddie Knoblauch is returning from injury last year, who was an all-conference player as a junior. Brandon Parsons, who's a strong safety from us, who is an Alabama State transfer, who I think has the potential to be as good as anybody. Christian Marble King will be a 3-year starter at wide receiver. Jace Daniels is a 4-year starter at left tackle. We've got both our tailbacks back, and Johnny Privatelli and Prince Young. This is a good football team that has worked very, very hard in the last 6 months. So we're excited just to come together.
When you mention names on a TV show, that says to these guys, you got some expectations for them, so they got to live up to it.
Absolutely.
You got you open on the road at Findlay, but your first home game is Thursday night. That's a neat opening, Thursday night, September 6th, and UW Lacrosse in the Dome. We'll look forward to that. September 6th. Mark that on your calendar, and mark Friday, June 1st on your calendar to participate in that golf outing. Chris, thanks for joining us. Good luck to the Wildcats this year. Chris Ostrowski, new head football coach at Northern. Okay, stick around. When we come back, we're going to talk about Dandelions. Got plenty of those. All right.
Thank you.
Stay right there.
Restaurants. The trendier they are, the more they charge. At Big Boy, we don't chase the latest trend because we believe value never goes out of style. Whether you order from our menu or enjoy one of our hearty buffets, you'll discover that good food doesn't have to be overpriced. Imagine being able to afford to take your whole family out to dinner. It's not a trend, it's what we do at Big Boy.
Guess what? You can get any new or used car financed with the Marquette Community Federal Credit Union for 3.9% APR. New or used. Got your eye on this new Escalade? 3.9%. How about this 75 Gremlin? 3.9%. Looking at this stylish Dodge Dart? 3.9%. How about a new Chevy Cruze? 3.9%. RV, boat, tractor? 3.9%. What about this DeLorean time machine? 3.9%. 3.9% auto loans new and used at the Marquette Community Federal Credit Union. Stop in and apply today.
On Arts and Culture is presented by City Insurance, a full-service independent insurance agency offering competitive prices and services for all types of personal and business insurance. Okay, it seems appropriate to be talking about Dandelions this time of year because I think they're taking over. They're establishing a presence in my yard, and I see them all over town. But this is kind of not exactly Dandelions, but the Dandelion Cottage, and with us is Monica Nordine. And Monica, you have written a play about the Dandelion Cottage and that whole experience. Tell us about this.
Yeah, I wrote a one-woman show. It is about the author of Dandelion Cottage. Her name is Caroline Watson Rankin. It's about 45 minutes to an hour long, and it talks. It's about her life up until the point of publishing Dandelion Cottage.
And she was from Marquette.
She was from Marquette.
Did she live her whole life here?
She spent a little bit of time in other places, but for the most part, she spent most of her life here in Marquette.
Without giving away a lot of the play, what's the history of the Dandelion Cottage?
The history of the Dandelion Cottage itself?
Yeah.
Well, what ended up happening is there was this cottage in town, and a bishop of the church let his daughter and her friends play there one summer, and that was an inspiration for Caroline Watson Rankin to write this story, and some of it was made up from her imagination about what might have actually gone on in that cottage during that summer.
Now the cottage is still here.
It is. It's on Arch Street.
On Arch Street. You can go and drive by that. It's owned by some homeowners over there. I don't think you're giving tours, but it's still there, and you can look at it and check it out.
Yep.
The same cottage that we're talking about here.
Exactly.
What was the inspiration for you to do this project?
Well, I had been speaking with the History Center about it, I think even at maybe late summer or early fall, and we had been doing some different one-woman shows, shorter, about women in the Marquette area or women who had spent some time in Marquette. We did an Amelia Earhart short monologue during the walking tour because she came and spoke at Kaufman Auditorium, and some other things. So we were looking for who was the next woman in Marquette that we were going to highlight as part of Marquette's history.
Yeah, and now, because you mentioned it, this is a fundraiser for the Marquette Regional History Center.
Correct.
It takes place June 7th and 8th at 7:30 at Kaufman Auditorium. Tickets are available through the History Center.
Yep.
And they can visit the History Center website, which is marquettehistory.org, to get tickets for this event. Now, I think this is remarkable. Have you ever done a one-woman show before?
I've done shorter things, shorter monologues, but I've never done anything to this extent. I'm really excited about it.
Yeah. The nature of it, is it you on stage the whole time? What can people expect?
It's me on stage the whole time. It's set right about the time when her book is published, and there are certain flashbacks to earlier times in her life that have inspired her to become a writer, and which she based some of her stories and experiences on.
Yeah, cool. A lot of lines to learn, I would imagine.
Yes, that is true. I've been working on that.
I would think so. Now, you also have some musical accompaniment in this. It's not just you. It's also Carrie Biolo, who's going to be playing some music behind some of this at the same time.
Exactly.
So it sounds like it's kind of a neat dual presentation there with you portraying Carolyn Watson Rankin and Carrie with music in the background. I think it sounds like a cool production. I give you a lot of credit for taking it on.
Well, thank you.
It sounds neat. And once again, it's a fundraiser for the Marquette Regional History Center. June 7th and 8th, Kaufman Auditorium. Good luck with it. I give you a lot of credit for taking on the one-woman show. I'm sure you'll do just fine. Your experience is quite notable. And if you get a chance to check out Monica's bio online, do that. She's got quite a wealth of experience. I'm sure it's going to be great. As an addition to this, we have Carrie with us here tonight, and she's going to play some music from this production. So
great.
We're going to enjoy that and give people a little bit of taste of some of that music that they're going to experience as well. Good luck with it, Monica.
Thank you.
I'm glad you came on and told us about it once again. When you do the next production on an important woman in Marquette's history, come back and we'll talk to you about that as well.
I will. Thank
you.
Okay,
stick around. When we come back, Carrie Biolo with music from Behind the Dandelions. All right. Thank you, Mom.
City Insurance has you covered. Located on Washington Street, Marquette.
Good friends, good food, good times. Sit long, talk much, laughed often. Quotes you've heard or seen hanging on the walls of kitchens. They're all true because a kitchen is the heart of your family's home. When you walk through the doors of Schwalbach Kitchens, you become part of our family. As we help you create the kitchen of your dreams, see how affordable creating those memories can be. Schwalbach Kitchens, part of your family and your local kitchen dealer for over 32 years.
Okay. All right. right. Hopefully you get that much of a applause and welcome at the performance of Behind the Dandelions. With me is Carrie Biolo, the accompanist. That's a tough word to say. For Monica for this upcoming production. Carrie, welcome.
Thank you very much.
You've been on the show before.
I have been.
You're back again, and this is, as we call it, Vibes, right? What is this?
Exactly, Vibes, the vibraphone.
Vibraphone. And is this the only instrument you're going to play in this performance?
No, it's not, actually. I'm going to play a glockenspiel. I've got some clay pots made from Barry Bernstein, a local artist. I'll have those hanging behind me that I'll play. And I'll play some drums and triangles and bells. And
great. I think that's sounds like it's going to add a lot to the performance.
Yes.
And you're on stage the whole time.
I am on stage. Okay. I am the post office.
You're integral.
I am.
Okay, all right. Well, what are you going to play for us here?
Well, I'm going to do a short medley of a couple of songs from Dandelion Cottage. The first one is Dill Pickles, which was the popular song of the time that Dandelion Cottage was written, a ragtime tune. And then I'm going to play the Dandelion Waltz that I've composed for this play.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Carrie Biolo. The Doug Garrison Show is brought to you in part by Marquette Golf Club, home of the classic heritage and award-winning Gray Walls golf courses. For rates and information, visit marquettegolfclub.com. And by Cliffs Natural Resources, a global mining leader with local investment and impact. Cliffs Natural Resources. Enjoy the golfing experience of a lifetime every day at Marquette Golf Club. Our two 18-hole championship courses offer everything from relaxing family fun to competitive golf as challenging as that found anywhere in the world. Our custom rate structure allows you to choose a membership package that accommodates your schedule and budget. And we offer reasonable daily fees, always available to the occasional player. In this day of green sensibilities, there's nothing more green than a day on the links at Marquette Golf Club. All right. I want to thank our guests, Carol Fulcher from the Iron Ore Heritage Trail. We also had Chris Ostrowski, the new head football coach of the Northern Michigan University Wildcats. And we had Monica Nordine, who has written and is performing the upcoming one-woman play, Behind the Dandelions. You want to check that out. And, of course, the musical element of that production, Carrie Biolo. Remember, like us on Facebook and join us here again next week on The Doug Garrison Show. Thank you very much.